Hello everybody, this is Colton with POSGuys.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Micronics TSP654IISK thermal receipt printer. This is a little bit of a unique printer in the lineup. It's sort of a middle ground between a label printer and a regular receipt printer, and then it's going to be able to print these fancy, sticky backed receipt material, essentially, so you can stick it on there. And those are really cool for things like drink cups, food orders, that sort of thing. And this printer is going to be able to print both this type of media and regular thermal receipts. So it's definitely a little bit of an interesting model. It's kind of cool. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to zoom you on in. We're going to take a look at the printer, play around, test it out a little bit, and then see how you might be able to use something like this in your own operation to make your business run just a little bit smoother. So without further ado, I'm going to zoom us in and let's get at it. All right, so we're zoomed in here now so we can take a better look at this. And if you are familiar at all with the TSP650, the standard model that is, you're gonna see that this guy is basically identical. The little feed out here is a little bit different, but other than that, the printer is almost a carbon copy just from an exterior standpoint. So you're gonna have the open and close button here to open up the top of the device. And of course, the internal components here, we have some paper already in here. So let me just close that. There we go. It'll print out its little guy here. Set that off to the side. Power button on the side, of course, and then the interface on the back with the power cord currently running through. This is the Bluetooth model, and that's the one that we'll be testing here today. But they do also have these in a bunch of different interfaces, but I'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah. The printer is going to ship with a wall mount included in the package, but if you wanted to do something like a vertical kiosk looking stand, you can do that. That's an additional add-on. I'll pop a photo of that on the screen here now. I don't have it with me. But yeah, just, another option to look at there. Print-wise, the TSP654IISK is going to be able to print text and logos on both linerless and standard receipt paper media. And it's going to be able to do that at 40 millimeter, 58 millimeter, and 80 millimeter paper. So converting that to US, 1.5 inches, 2.2 inches, and then 3.1 inches respectively. You're going to be able to use rolls anywhere up to about 83 millimeters or 3.2 inches in diameter. And swapping those out are really easy. There is like a separate optional paper guide that you can use there if you want, but it's pretty easy to swap from like 3-inch sticky media to regular thermal rolls here, and then like a 2-inch roll. And all you really need to do for that, there is a separate media guider. I don't have it here, so I'm not gonna use it. But then you just kind of pop that onto the side, roll it on, and feed it, just like any other printer. So yeah, a pretty simple operation on that. The printer is gonna be able to print at about 180 millimeters per second print speed. That's gonna be applicable to both the linerless paper as well as the regular thermal rolls. So respectively, that's going to come out to about a 7 inches per second print speed. Putting that into perspective, its closest competition in the linerless printer space comes in at about 90 millimeters per second. So in that regard, the TSP650 is really blowing the competition out of the water in terms of print speed. So I got to give Star kudos on that. On the topic of lifespan and whatnot, the print head on this particular unit is the same as the regular TSP650. A lot of the components were reused. So you're going to get about you're going to be able to print about 61 miles of paper before failure. That equals about 1,553 rolls of standard 220 feet paper. So these guys here, either in the linerless or the non-linered variety. So definitely you're going to be getting really good value. And then if, of course, anything goes wrong, it is covered with a 3-year manufacturer warranty. So that if, a part goes out or something, you just give us and Star a call and we'll go ahead and get you helped out with that. Talking about some of the features that this printer is going to have in addition to just printing, of course, it's going to offer a anti-jam cutter. So, when you're printing your roll here, it's going to automatically do a little guillotine cut, which is pretty standard. But of course, it's nice that they included that. And if you're using that in like a kitchen environment or something, that's really handy so that you're not trying to rip it off. But there is another feature too. If you are using this in like a kitchen or ticket order environment, it has a paper taken sensor so that when you have like your point of sale operate system prints like 5 or 6 orders to this at a time. It's only going to print one at a time, and then it has a taken sensor so that when you take the roll, then it prints the next one. And that's going to avoid you having, like 10 receipts just hanging out all over the place. So just like small quality of life things to really help. Before I go away from the auto cutter, it does have a 2 million cut life cycle. So, you're gonna be able to cut about 2 million times on this before that starts to go. And just to put that in perspective, that's about 1 million more than its closest competition. So again, Star's really done a great job just building a really sturdy unit. Also talking about order features and whatnot, there is an optional buzzer accessory. Sometimes, people want to use impact printers because they're really loud and you can hear them in a busy kitchen. And some of the hesitation with going with like a thermal printer like this is that you don't get the noise, so you can miss orders. But with the buzzer accessory, it just plugs into the back on the drawer kick line, and it's loud, so you'll be able to hear that. I would show it, but I don't have it here with me. They're kind of on a national supply chain shortage, but if you give us a call, we have ways of getting things for you. And then before we test out the printer and show all the different things it can do, one final thing I wanted to look at is connectivity, of course. So the TSP654IISK is available with the standard interface options. So, USB, Ethernet, serial, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. It's going to work with both iOS and Android tablets, as well as direct publishing through websites and online ordering systems, so long as you're using the Star's cloud print technology. It's kind of a proprietary thing that they've developed. I've talked about it a little bit in videos in the past. I'll pop a little link on the screen somewhere here onto a video where I go more into it. But that is, a functionality that this printer has if your software is programmed with it, of course. That's kind of always the thing to keep in mind with these printers, is that they have really cool, fancy features, but sometimes it just needs to be programmed into the printer at all. So if you have any questions about that, definitely I would reach out to your software developer first, and they can help out with that. But if you are a software developer yourself, give us a call, and we can help get you connected with the people that you need to in order to get this thing developed. They have some really good SDKs for this particular model. Just give us a call. We can get you set up. But with all of those connectivity aside, basically if you're using Windows, Linux, Macs, or a Mac machine, there's drivers for all of that. So you'll be set no matter what you're using on this particular unit. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here real quick is just sort of demonstrate what a standard print job will look like. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the 2-inch media here. Let's pull out our sticky media here. It's a pretty simple affair. Pop it in there. Feed it out a little bit. It's going to, of course, do its auto calibration. Now if I go pull on over to the iPad that I have here on the side, I can click this, detect the printer, pop it on here, and let's just print out a standard 3-inch wide receipt paper. Why not? Let's do a couple different things here. You can print out a coupon, which is really fun. So if we pop this here and print it, there we go, popping it out there. You're gonna see that you get a cool little sticker here. This is just using some of the sample art that is built into the app. But this is like you can see that it is gonna be able to print images, of course, and then text as well. And you can stick this on anywhere, and I have nowhere good to stick it. So there you go, it sticks. Look at that. Star makes their own custom paper that you can use for this, but it also has support for other common receipt paper types. So like Iconix is one of the really big sticky media manufacturers out there. Their printers, their labels are rated to work with this. So there's no need to worry about getting, shoehorned into a supply chain, especially with where things are at right now. But yeah, and then let's say you want to just print a standard 3-inch receipt paper, or receipt rather. Easy as popping that out. And of course, sticky back as well. So we can stick that right to my chest. Look at that. I'm somewhat of a board or something like that. But yeah, that is the nitty gritty on this printer. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call. And if you're interested in potentially ordering this, give us a call as well. We can get you set up. You could also shoot us an email if you'd prefer not to chat over the phone. Both of those are on the screen now. But thank you all so much for coming in and taking a look, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.